If I had to eat a bunch of kids for dinner, but if I didn't, they'd eat me with peas and carrots. There's a lot you have to take into account here. You have to consider, would I be eating the children with peas and carrots? That would definitely bring out their flavor a little bit better. And then you said a bunch of kids, that's kind of a wide range. I definitely have to think about that, but I do have a class on Monday that I gotta be to, so I'd rather not be eating.
Honestly, that's a really good question. I would say if I either had to eat kids for dinner, I guess, or they would eat me with the peas and carrots, I would probably have to let them eat me. I mean, I don't think I could get over having to eat a child. If it was a grown person, I might be able to do it. Not that I've had experience, but I just feel like that would be easier for me to do. But if it's kids, also more than one, I mean, I don't have a large appetite. I don't know how long that would take. Maybe if I had a few days to do it, I might be more inclined. But if it was a few kids, I would have to let them eat me, especially with peas and carrots. I mean, I obviously don't know what I taste like, but I would assume that's a good meal, and I'd love for them to get the nutrients that they'd need.
Well, right now I haven't eaten all day, so I'm kind of hungry. And if they were eating me, or wait, if I were eating them in the form of soup, it'd make me feel a little better, and I'd be nice and full for dinner. Even though it'd be really sad to eat kids, but if I didn't know, it wouldn't be a problem.
What bothers me most about eating the children, I've kind of been, as I was raised, my parents kind of built into me that I should be opposed to the idea of eating children. And there's also like the internal organs, the heart, taking a bite out of it, the blood gushing all over your face and down your chest. That'd be pretty obscure. And then, they have toenails, those are kind of nasty. And, teeth, you'd kind of have to swallow them it's kind of like a pill kind of thing. I don't know what that'd do for you. Yeah, but there's definitely some obstacles.
I mean, I don't think eating children is really a reflection of who I am, and it's not something I would typically do. But because I'm not feeling well, I think a little bit of split pea soup with some carrots and some children would be nice and tasty.
Honestly, the main thing that I think would be difficult to deal with in this situation would just be the idea that I wouldn't be cooked properly. I would want to know that what they're eating is the best meal they've ever had. I mean, if I'm risking my life, I would want the peas and carrots to be cooked thoroughly. I would want myself to be cooked to perfection. Make sure they have some appetizers, maybe. I don't know if that's going to be other people. I mean, I didn't create this question, but probably just something that would get their palate cleansed enough that when they eat me, this meal, it's literally the best thing they've ever had. So I would say the thing that would concern me is who's the chef? Who's the one that's making this magic happen?
Because I'm so hungry, maybe have a little bit of brain fog and I can't think very clearly about whether I should eat kids or not, and maybe I'd regret it afterward. But right now I'm really hungry.
Cannibalism in the United States, it's not that big of a thing, apart from maybe a couple bad apples. So honestly, I could see within the next 10 years it could go up, honestly. Yeah, the popularity of cannibalism.
As for the next 10 years when it comes to cannibalism, I mean, I guess a lot of it would be based on this experiment right here. I mean, if this happens and kids do get to enjoy me for a meal and they might really like it, then who knows? This could start a new wave. I mean, the next generation, who knows what they're going to bring to the table?
I think right now cannibalism has a bit of a stigma, a negative stigma attached to it, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, the Donner Party, at least like 43 of the 85 made it successfully to California. It just depends on what people want to do and whether they're hungry and sick.
So yeah, maybe if it became like a kind of TikTok trend, like, oh, eating this lady for dinner with a bunch of my friends with peas and carrots, and I mean, it blows up because things like that blow up so easily these days, then it really could grow. I mean, the popularity, it could be through the roof, who knows? Everyone could be eating each other. But yeah, I guess it all just depends on social media, where the next generation takes it.
I think, as I said earlier, I think a lot of people are raised to have an opposition to cannibalism, but I think it's just a good thing to think about. How do we really decide what's morally good and what's morally bad? We just really got to think about these things and come to general understandings and have conversations.
I think for me, I'm just really hungry, but in general, maybe people would consider cannibalism for overpopulation. And I mean, we don't really know what eating people can do and the health benefits that come with it. So maybe if there were some more research there and there weren't so many moral barriers, it wouldn't be as big of a problem.
This thought experiment is completely relevant to our socioeconomic climate. I think it is huge to have conversations like this. In the past 10, 20, 30 years, we've really strayed away from this idea, and these conversations have turned into debates and arguments and attacking and defense. And I think it's good just to have conversations about cannibalism and policy and what could potentially come to be.
I would say one of the main things is the decision to choose, would you rather be eaten or would you want someone else to eat you? Just like, would you rather get something or would you rather give something to someone else? And I think a lot of it has to do with some of our political leaders right now, or who might be a political leader. Some of them are choosing to do something because it benefits them, while others might be choosing to do something because they know it benefits others. So I think this question really just digs deep into that idea of whether or not you're going to help yourself or help others.